Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I thought, you know what, while I'm sitting down filming, I thought I would film my Mounjaro journey just because a couple of people have been asking about it on my channel, and not just that, I want to discuss it because I think it's an amazing thing. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This isn't to endorse unhealthy eating habits or, weight loss medication. If you feel like you want to change yourself for the better, then I'm going to say that this has changed my life. I've been somebody that doesn't believe in vaccines, that doesn't believe in kind of diet culture, say, quote unquote. Like, I do believe in healthy eating, but I don't believe in like starving or deprivation. So the fact that I went on Mounjaro this year and it's changed my life so significantly, I thought I would do a video dedicated to that. Now, I will put images in this video and I will be completely transparent and completely honest about my journey on Mounjaro. Now, first off, everybody's journey on Mounjaro is different. Do not believe everything you see online. Yes, there are people that have dramatic weight losses and lose up to a stone a week. I was not one of those people, and I'm just going to tell you what I, as a plus size person, went through, my starting weight, my current weight, and where I'm at with Mounjaro. Now, I had gone through some health issues last year. First of it being I was pre-diabetic, and then as well as that I had fatty liver. Now, I had fatty liver for a few years and it wasn't any issue, but I was getting pain underneath my rib, and they sent me for an ultrasound and they noticed that my liver was enlarged. Now, everything's okay, it kind of went back to normal, but doing those multiple tests, it kind of scared me, because if your liver fails, you're pretty much effed. So for me, I was like, no, I need to get this under control. Now, I had been on the NHS wait list for weight loss surgery for a few years, and in the way to get weight loss surgery in NHS is you go on a waiting list, but before you even get on the waiting list, you have to go through certain things, like you have to do their weight loss program, you have to go to the gym, you have to do their therapy. So I had done all those steps before I actually got on the waiting list. And then last year, October, I actually got my first consultation at the hospital. Now, when I went to the hospital, they did my obs, they spoke me with a psychologist just to kind of find out where I was, and I was completely honest. And for me, I was at a place of self-love where I really loved myself. I didn't care what size I was, but I just went to that consultation because I wanted to be the healthiest version of myself. And mental health plays such a big part in weight loss. I was very insecure in terms of feeling low about my weight. Even though I was like happy to be plus size, if I'm being completely honest, I wasn't really happy with the size I was. I was just accepting it because I didn't think I would be able to get smaller. So, and obviously when you're big and you dress nice, you can kind of mask it in a way. So I went for that consultation and I said, look, I'm purely doing this because I have a daughter to live for. It's unhealthy, the amount of weight I'm carrying, and I need help because I've tried on my own and I'm only losing between 4 to 5 pounds. I can't budge past that. So I had the consultation, did the ops. I was told that I was going to have to come back this February and speak with a consultant, and he would let me know whether it would be bypass or sleeve that I would get. It's not up to you what you get. The consultant would tell you what you get. Now, February came and I was like, oh, I don't think I want it, because at the original consultation, when you hear of like weight loss, obviously you know it's going to be a recovery, but I didn't know you have to be in hospital for a week. I didn't know you couldn't drive for up to 4 months. I didn't know the ins and outs of surgery. I just thought you have surgery, you might take a week to recover, and then that's it. But there was so much that went into it that I just didn't know, and it opened up my eyes to be like, wow, this is a really serious surgery, and if it doesn't go the way I want it to go, there's some serious repercussions that can happen. So it kind of made me just think, do you know what, I don't know if this is for me. My spirit's just telling me no, so I'm just going to hold off. And even up until this video, I have got a consultation in July, and I'm still oohing and ahhing because, as I say, I started Mounjaro in January, and I'm just seeing where it goes with this, because it seems a lot less invasive than if I was to just go and have a full-blown surgery. What brings me on to Mounjaro. In December, if you watch my Vlogmas, I spoke about my weight getting out of control. I'm one of these people that when I go through things emotionally, I tend to eat a lot of bad food, and it's not even like large portions. It's just takeaway, cakes, pastries. I mean, it was really bad how I was eating fizzy drinks after fizzy drinks. It was like I had a belly button, but I would eat past the belly button part. So it was just, I was at a place where I just had got so big, I was just like over it. I was not feeling good. I was past the big that I was comfortable. Because if you're plus size, you always have a plus size that you're comfortable with, and then there's always a size that when you go over, you're like, oh no, I gotta get it back together. So I was weighing 19 stone 5. And I'm 5'5", guys. I was like, that's way too much weight. My goal weight has always been 12 stone 2, which is what I was before my baby. For me, some people say that's still big. For me, I was skin and bone. You know, I'm very big boned. I've always been told that by the doctor. So I'm going to weigh heavier than I am. But 12 stone 2 is my goal weight. Now, I've been on Mounjaro 5 months now, and I have lost a total of 2.5 stones. Now, that has been quite slow and steady, but I prefer it like that. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, and I'll talk about the doses, and I'll talk about how I did and how I did and how I did not. Now, when I first started Mounjaro, I was petrified. I was shaking. I'm not an injection girl. I don't believe in vaccines, but I was like, something's got to give. Now, Mounjaro is not cheap. I used Asda Pharmacy, which is very pricey, but to me, I was like, Asda just seems like a more reliable source than using a backhand or internet brand that I'm not sure of. So I was paying £180 for my injection, which I still pay. You do get 10% off each month, but it's basically £170 each month, which is quite pricey when you can get it for like 150 using other people. But for me, I wanted to go with a reliable source. I wanted to go with someone who I trusted, and that's why I went with them. And I actually use it called Savia, but it's through Asda, so that's who I use. Now, when I started, the way Mounjaro works is you have to start at 2.5, which is the dose that gets your body used to it, and then you go up to 5, 7.5, 10, 12.5, and then 15. There's no higher than 15. I did 2.5. I will say that I didn't feel any different. I didn't feel the suppressant. Everybody online at this point was like, yeah, we're losing half a stone in a week and I can't eat anything. For me, I was nyamming same way. I felt like there was no difference. It felt like water. And I was really kind of like, not disappointed, but I was like, hold up. Either people are lying or I'm just not losing weight. And then I started to really clean eat. I cut out fizzy. I was cooking every day. And I felt like I was losing weight, but not that it was a placebo effect, but I felt like I was losing weight for the healthy changes I made rather than the medication. So when I did the 2.5, I was losing 2 pounds a week for the first month. And I was loving that because, as I said, I could never lose past 5 pounds. So the fact that I had lost in the first month 8 pounds, I was buzzing. I was like, yep, even though it's not like what I saw online in terms of weight loss, I trust the process because it's going down rather than going up. So the next month I decided to go up to 5 because I felt like the 2.5, I wasn't feeling suppressed. Now 5 for me, it was all right. I mean, at the beginning, I would get really bad headaches and I'd feel very fatigued, especially the first 2 days. I just need to sleep, if I'm being honest. Those were the main side effects I got, and very dry mouth. Like it wasn't just dry mouth. My whole body felt like it was a desert inside. Like I didn't know you could get dry mouth as dry as you could. And I was drinking water at that time, but that's just one of the side effects I had. So 5 for me, I was still losing 2 pounds a week, but there was no suppressant. So I was like, I am losing the weight, but I'm still eating whatever I want. I could eat a donut and still lose weight. I wasn't feeling like I didn't want food. So I felt like, okay, let me go up. So obviously when I was on 5, I was on holiday and I had a week's break from medication because I didn't take it with me. And I had gained 3 pounds, but coming back and going back on it, I had lost that a week later. So I was really happy because, yeah, I was really happy about that. So another big side effect that is, well, it has been spoken about, constipation. Now, I know this is a TMI, but before this, I used to have IBS, and it has significantly almost disappeared, my IBS. I would go toilet, number 2, multiple times a day, easily, especially with coffee. Since Mounjaro, unless I take Dulcolax, I do not go to the bathroom. The constipation has to be the worst side effect I have had, and I have it up until now. It's like your body, because it slows down the digestive, you just don't go to the toilet. And if you do, it's a pebble. And it's like, what is a pebble when I've been eating for 2 weeks? Where's that going? So you do feel a bit bloated, you do feel a bit uncomfortable, you do want to go to the toilet, you just physically can't. And I'd done the prune juice, I'd done the orange juice, I drank the coffee, nothing was working until I took Dulcolax. And I was taking 3 Dulcolax tablets to even be able to go, because one just wasn't enough. So yeah, I feel like the worst side effect up until now has been constipation for me. And it doesn't matter if I have fibre in my diet, protein in my diet, water in my diet, I still suffer with that. So I have thought about having a colonoscopy just so that I can get a full clear out, because I know I'm backed up in there. But anyways, back to the doses. So after doing 5 milligrams, I decided to go up to 7.5. Now, 7.5 has been the best dose and the worst dose for me. 7.5 for me, I felt the suppression. That's when I was like, oh, this is what people are talking about. Appetite was nowhere to be found. The thought of food was disgusting me. I would actually feel nauseous, and if I forced myself to eat, I'd feel even more sick. Now, 7.5 was crazy, because I'd go the whole day and be like, damn, I haven't eaten. Damn, I need to eat. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't eating. I never had an appetite. I stayed on 7.5 for 2 months because I loved the dose so much. I lost 2 pounds. All the side effects I wanted of the suppressant and everything was there, but I never lost weight. I was at a standstill. And I was just thinking, how can I have the suppressant but not be losing no weight? And then I kind of did something that I shouldn't have really done, but I did it. I took the golden dose of my 2nd month, and I'm not going to lie, I took too much, got really dizzy, got really sick, kind of messed me up for a few days, but it jump-started my weight loss again, and I lost 3 pounds that week. Now, in that time, I did order myself, which I'm on now, 10 milligrams, and I've just started 10 milligrams, and this is day 2 of 10 milligrams for me. And I will say this, I prefer 7.5 because although I don't have an appetite, I could eat, but I don't know if that's because I'm on Mother Nature. Whereas with 7.5, I didn't even have a thought of food. I will have to see how much I weigh this week to see if I've lost weight. And depending on how much I've lost or if I haven't, depends on whether I go down or stay on 10. I really liked, as I said, 7.5. It's just I was not losing weight. But I might go back down because I loved the suppression. I loved the fact that I didn't have to feel or think about food. Now, the negative about that, if you have a family that you have to cater for or cook, it can be very difficult. Whilst I was on 7.5, I started to slip back into old habits of being lazy. Because I wasn't eating, I would just get my daughter like, oh, let me just get you something to eat at the shop, or let me just chuck in like some nuggets or stuff. I didn't want to cook because I felt sick. So I was going back to my bad ways because I would just get food for my daughter because I wasn't eating. I didn't feel like, what's the point of making a full-blown roast dinner when I know I'm not going to eat it? So you do have to remind yourself to eat, and it's so important that you do eat even if you don't feel like it. And what I've recently incorporated into my diet is smoothies, just because it's filling and it's like a liquid, and when I have that I feel like I've got something in me. But yeah, it's been a journey with food, and I'm going to be honest, I started off the year really clean, and when I got back from Egypt, my eating just started to kind of go back to normal, and I've been really lucky and blessed that I've been losing weight even with eating normal. Now, I haven't been eating half as much as what I used to, but in terms of being able to have a cake, being able to drink my Red Bull, to be able to have a Dr. Pepper Zero or a Fanta Zero, I've been able to have. So that's what I mean by back to normal for me. I've not really gone on to the takeaway heavy because, as I say, I've not had an appetite. But my bad habits is I stopped drinking fizzy and I've gone back to having fizzy every now and then. And I do have my kryptonite Red Bull every single day, which is full of sugar because I don't like the sugar free. And yeah, that's me being real. But I will say Mounjaro has changed my life. I didn't think it was possible for me to like lose weight because for so many years I had gone to the gym. I had dieted even when I don't believe in diet, but calorie counting, my fitness pal, and it just wasn't getting off me. And now I realize I think I had an insulin issue because the fact that this medicine is for diabetic people and it's insulin medication, since I've been taking it, I've been losing weight. So sometimes you don't lose weight as a big person because it's more than just the fact that you're fat or you're eating a lot. Because I used to be like to the doctor, I'm not eating anything, maybe one meal a day, and I'm not losing weight. So that's what really kind of messed me up. And I think when you do Mounjaro, especially when you're spending as much as you are on the medication, you want it to work. You don't want it to go in vain. So I've been strict and I'm not stopping, even though my loss, as I said, 1 to 2 pounds a week, sometimes no loss. I'm still sticking with it because it's more than I could have done on my own. And I don't plan to come off of this. I plan to go down to, lose as much as I can and then maintain, whether I go through like a 1.5 dose or a 2.5 dose and just maintain, because this has changed my life. And take away the health issues because I'm not far enough in my journey to see if it's had an effect on my liver, but just the fact that I have energy, I feel good. I'm going to talk about the kind of superficial stuff, but it's real. Going into a store and being able to try on the size you used to try on and it be big for you, or being able to shop in every store, that feeling is like no other. Feeling good within yourself and feeling like you're that bad bitch, it's like no other. I have always been confident, as I said, in who I am as a person, but I just wanted to feel like I could be naked and swing my tits left and right and feel like I'm the shit. And I never felt like that before. Whereas now I'm on the journey to feeling like that. And I will say how you look and how you feel about yourself is ultimately the most important thing. Health as well is up there. And if you're healthy and you feel good, you're gonna exude that energy. And for me, feeling or seeing glimpses of who I used to be before I gained the weight, because I gained a lot of people that are big gain weight, through mental health issues, whether it be depression, whether it be grief, whether it be emotional eating, comfort eating. Something triggers you to want to get to that stage. And it's easy because when you're big, you don't realize how big you are. Just like when you're small, you see yourself how it is. That's how you see yourself when you're big. It's only when you see yourself in pictures or videos, you're like, damn, I need to scale back. So for me, seeing a glimpse of hope of who I used to be and seeing myself come back to like the CANDICE I was before, depression had hit and life trauma had hit, it makes me feel good, because I was a happy person at a smaller size. And this is a really bad... I've always had my middle finger up to people that say you have to lose weight or, to catch a man or to look good or feel good. But I'm going to be quite honest. When you lose weight, people are a lot nicer to you. That's not just men, that's women as well. Since I've started to lose weight and I've only lost 2 stones. Now, yes, I got attention before, but now people go out their way to talk to me, and I'm very introverted. I'm not used to people wanting to just chat, People want to open up the doors. I go into stores, whether it be security, whatever. Everyone's always making an effort to come and talk to me, wants to ask my name and stuff. So you do get a lot more attention, and obviously that boosts the ego. And I'm a Leo, like, I've got to be honest, we love a little bit of attention, we love it, like, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, I just think for me, the health benefits of being on Mounjaro is great, but for me, the confidence it's given me back. I mean, as I say, I think I was so pro plus size because I never thought I could get back to my pre-baby weight. And as I say, I'm not there, but I know that it's possible now because, as I say, it's slow and steady, but they say slow and steady wins the race. So I'm not really thinking about numbers. I'm just like, as long as I'm losing or maintaining and not gaining, that's a win. And I think if you're going to do Mounjaro, have realistic expectations. You're not going to just, you know, yes, there are people that lose a massive amount of weight quickly, but if you're a slow burner, stick with it. Once you know you're doing the right things, eventually it will catch up. And up your dose, down your dose, and sometimes that gives your body a kickstart for the medication to work again. If you're having a stall, take a week off and then start again, because sometimes your body just needs a kickstart to get that weight loss going. And as I say, incorporate exercise, walking. Slow and steady wins the race. It doesn't have to be these big rigorous exercises. As I say, walking for 10 minutes to 20 minutes to an hour and building up, that's going to have a difference. Cleaning your house like you're, you know, from top to bottom, fast cleaning, it's going to have an effect. Walking instead of driving, or parking in the parking lot further than the store front, it's going to have an effect. So yes, just have realistic expectations. But for anybody that's thinking of taking Mounjaro, go and do it. It was the best thing I could do. Obviously, everybody reacts different. If you're feeling worse and you're having side effects you don't think you can manage, then maybe go and see about something else, because there are other tips and helpful things you can get help with and more affordable. But for me, I had gone through all those options, and for me, Mounjaro was the last shot before weight loss surgery. But I just felt like, Candice, come on, you've got to give it your all. Like, you're not giving it your all. And as I said, I knew I couldn't personally do it myself, so I went on to Mounjaro. And sometimes it's not always the scale. Sometimes you see it in your body rather than the scale, and that's been me. Like, even now, like, I'm on Mother Nature, I'm bloating up on my face and on my belly a little bit. But I know once Mother Nature's down, it will go. I would encourage everybody that's thinking of doing a Mounjaro journey to do research. Look at the facts, look at the stats, see if it's affordable, see if it's for you. Yes, it is expensive, but you have to say to yourself, how bad do you want to lose weight? And it's not bad about just looking good. How bad do I want to be healthy? How bad do I want to feel confident in myself? Everybody can say it's not just, you know, to look good, but they're lying. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to feel good. Yes, skinny shouldn't be the norm, because I'm a big believer in love yourself at every size you are. I love myself at the size that I'm now. I loved myself at the size I was at 19 stone 5. But it was not healthy for me. And yes, I loved myself, but was I truly confident? Could I walk around the beach in a bikini and feel confident? No, I couldn't. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. And do I feel a boost since I've lost weight? 100%. So, yeah, if it's for you, do it. Don't care about anybody. Keep it private. But, yeah, I'm so glad I did Mounjaro, and I'm not going to stop. That was my Mounjaro journey and Mounjaro talk. And again, guys, this isn't to push anybody on it, but I'm going to say it changed my life. And I'm so glad I did it. And I would tell everybody, do it, especially if you've got a weight issue and you're thinking about it. Take a chance. Try a month dose. Try 2 months. I'd say give it 3 months and see if you like it or not. So that was my Mounjaro journey. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you can see where I'm at. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.